A challenge I faced and how I overcame it. One of the biggest challenges I faced was improving my public speaking skills. Speaking in front of people made me very nervous. My heart would race, my hands would shake, and I would forget what I wanted to say. This was a big problem, especially when I had to give presentations at school. To confront my fear, I decided to take small steps. First, I practiced speaking in front of a mirror. This helped me get used to hearing my own voice and seeing my facial expressions. Then, I practiced with family members, which was a little more comfortable but still pushed me out of my comfort zone. Over time, I started practicing in front of small groups of friends. These small steps slowly helped me feel more confident. I also learned to prepare well for each presentation. I wrote down key points and practiced them several times. The more prepared I was, the less nervous I felt. I realized that knowing my topic well gave me a sense of control, which reduced my anxiety. Practicing deep breathing exercises before speaking also helped calm my nerves. Finally, I joined a public speaking club at school. This club gave me regular opportunities to speak in front of others in a supportive environment. It was still scary at first, but over time I began to enjoy it. I learned from others and received useful feedback, which further improved my skills. In conclusion, overcoming my fear of public speaking was a challenge, but with practice and support, I was able to overcome it. Now, I feel more confident and capable when I have to speak in front of others. Facing this challenge taught me that with patience and effort, I can overcome obstacles. A talent that shaped my life, writing. Among many, one talent that has shaped my life is writing. As early as my childhood, I developed a special liking for putting my thoughts into words and succeeded in expressing myself through stories and essays. This has helped me at school, getting to know myself and the world around me. Writing was always a very good means for me to straighten out my thoughts. When too much was in my head, writing would clear it up for me. It was like cleaning up a messy room in which I put everything in its proper place. In so doing, that makes me less stressed and also focused. This skill then transferred into my communication skills when relating to other people, whether personally or academically. This talent has also brought me many great opportunities. At school, writing has been a major asset in my studies. Assignments that involve essays or creative writing are always those in which I perform very well, and I often feel confident sharing my ideas in written form. Writing has also opened doors to participate in school newsletters and creative writing clubs. Through these experiences, I learned teamwork. I had to work with other writers and editors to complete projects. It has even dictated what I envision for my future. The better a writer I become, the more I envision how writing can be used to create change. Whether it be through journalism, creative work, or whatever form, helping others express their ideas and voices is a task with which I know I will always be involved. Writing is something that has been shaping who I am. This skill helps me to be more organized, allows me to express myself better, and has opened new ways of personal growth and future opportunities. I look forward to the further development of this gift and to see where it will take me next. A correct yet difficult choice: relocation to a new city. One of the toughest decisions I have ever made was to move to a new city for my job. I had spent nearly my entire life in my native place. I had friends and family around me, and things were always comfortable there. Then I got this offer from another city, and I was both scared and elated. Leaving my familiar life was hard. I decided to accept the job after much deliberation. It wasn't an easy decision for me to make. Firstly, I wouldn't like to leave my friends. Besides, I was afraid that I mightn't be able to adjust or be happy in a new place. But gradually, I started to realize that this new job may make available new avenues for growth and learning. It was an opportunity to test the mettle. At first, it was hard to get used to living in a new city. I missed my family and friends so much. The city seemed huge and noisy. Almost every single day, I felt loneliness. However, little by little, with time passing day by day, I started making new friends. I found local cafes and parks that I like. I even joined a sports team, which helped me to meet people and feel more connected. Looking back, the shift to this city was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. This place gave me that little push out of my comfort zone and helped shape me into who I am today. It taught me to stand up for myself and be more independent and confident. I found some great work experiences there that have shaped a place important to me, my grandparents' house. One place that holds a lot of importance in my life is my grandparents' house. Though it is not that grand and posh, the place is full of memories, love, and comfort. Since I was very little, I have been visiting this place, which practically makes it my second home. My family spends their holidays and summer vacations in my grandparents' house. Every time I enter the house, it is the same smell of my grandmother's cooking, and each time, it is like entering an oven when getting inside the house. It is located in a quiet neighborhood. It has a small garden in front where we can sit down and chat. This setting somehow soothes me far from the pressure brought by school and daily life. This is the house where, above all, I am so close to my family and the traditions of it. My grandparents tell me about the past, and I know about my family's history. The stories sung to me make me proud of where I come from. I learn much here, from simple things, like cooking with my grandmother, to important values such as kindness and respect from both grandparents. Another reason this place is so special is because of the memories that I have made here. I had lots of fun times playing games, sharing secrets, and just being ourselves with my cousins here. Every corner of the house reminds me of something, making the place more special to me. Basically, my grandparents' house is very important to me, as it had provided me with comfort, love, and learning. It brings in unity in my family and helps me keep in mind who I am and where I come from. Thus, this place will be dearly cherished in my life, and wherever I go in life, I know the memories of this place will remain in my heart. What is a book that has impacted you, and why? A book which has quite influenced me is The Alchemist, by Paulo Coelho. This is the story of Santiago, a young shepherd, who in his dream finds a treasure hidden near the Egyptian pyramids. Rather than ignoring his dreams, Santiago decides to go on an adventure in search of this treasure. In his journey, he finds many people and difficulties that develop him as a person. The most important thing that I gained from reading The Alchemist is to follow my dream and listen to my heart. It can be understood from Santiago's journey that everyone has his personal legend, and to fulfill it, one has to take risks. This quote influenced me very much and made me reflect on my aims and what I wanted to get. It taught that even in times of hardship or uncertainty, our belief in ourselves can lead us towards success. Another strong lesson from this book is learning something from every experience. Santiago meets many different people, each of them teaches him something new. His experiences, whether they are good or bad for him, help him grow and get wiser. That made me notice that even hard times can teach us something and that we should be open towards everything new coming into our lives. The Alchemist really influenced me, for he showed me to pursue my dreams and learn from each step of my journey. The courage and commitment of Santiago inspired me to believe in my path and go forward, even when things get complicated. This book taught me that our dreams are worth following and that each experience can help us reach our goals. What is a moment that has changed you as a person? One moment that really changed me as a person was the very first time I volunteered at a local food bank. Sure, I knew people existed who did not have everything. It's one thing to read about it and hear about it in class, but another thing entirely to go out and experience this personally. It made me more appreciative of values such as empathy, gratitude, and community service. When I went to the food bank, I actually saw many walks of life. Some were elderly, while others were young families. As I distributed food, I could see it in their faces, how they looked so relieved and grateful. A lot of them did thank us very sincerely, and even shared a little part of their story. Hearing how much they have gone through yet remained hopeful really struck me. That changed my perspective. I realized helping others was not just a question of giving them what they needed but showing respect and empathy towards them. It further helped to make me more appreciative of the things I have. How one could easily take for granted food and shelter, this is basically what I saw. During those moments right after that day, I had become much more aware of the things I had: a warm home, my family who supports me, and so many other things. The little things in my life started to be much appreciated by me, and I understood these are not the things to be overlooked. This is the conclusion. Volunteering at the food bank was one of those profound, life-changing moments that bestowed upon me a sense of empathy, sparked thankfulness in my heart, and motivated me toward greater involvement in lending a helping hand. It instilled in me a sense of obligation to my community, and over the years, I have tried to incorporate acts of kindness and understanding into my daily life, being mindful that little actions also count. Who is someone you admire and why? One person I admire deeply is my grandmother. She is someone who has taught me many important lessons through her actions and words. My grandmother has always been there for her family, offering support, guidance, and love. She is caring, strong, and wise, and she makes me want to become a better person. One reason I admire my grandmother is her kindness. She treats everyone she meets with respect and warmth. Whether it's family, friends, or even strangers, she always goes out of her way to help them. She volunteers at our local community center and spends time helping others who need support. Watching her, I have learned how important it is to be kind and helpful. Another quality I admire in my grandmother is her strength. She has faced many challenges in her life, from growing up in difficult times to overcoming personal struggles. Despite everything, she stays strong and positive. Her resilience is inspiring to me, as it shows that we can get through hard times if we believe in ourselves and keep going. My grandmother is also incredibly wise. I am unsure about whenever, she always has great advice. She listens carefully and then shares her thoughts in a calm and thoughtful way. She often tells me, be patient and think things through. This advice has helped me in many situations, and I feel grateful for her wisdom. A correct yet difficult decision. Decision-making in my life sometimes takes a lot of toll on me. One of the hardest decisions I ever made was when I decided to switch schools in my junior year in high school. I had always been in my previous school, and I was in a very close-knit set of friends. As time went by, however, I realized that the school's environment no longer matched my academic and personal needs. Although it was rather difficult to leave friends and familiar surroundings, I felt that it would be more suitable if another school offered me more opportunities related to my interests. Changing schools was not a piece of cake at all. I was full of doubts, cared about fitting in, and making friends. Besides, I was apprehensive about adjusting to another academic framework and teachers. However, speaking with my parents and teachers helped me to realize that sometimes a change, even though difficult, might bring huge benefits. After all, I decided to switch, although a bit nervous. The idea that motivated me in this school was the fact that it provided many opportunities which I did not have. There were advanced facilities like a science lab, courses, and also clubs such as a writing club. I also met some students who shared my academic goals. The students were quite serious about studying and motivated me to work harder. It was not easy, but finally, I started making new friends and adjusting to my new environment. Now I feel it was the correct decision taken. The change in school helped me to develop both academically and socially. I gained much more confidence in putting myself in an environment that was different from the previous one and thus felt better equipped for the future. Lastly, although it was tough, the decision to change schools was the best decision taken by me. It taught me that sometimes, for personal growth, one needs to come out of his or her comfort zone. A cause I am passionate about, environmental conservation. A cause that I really care much about is environmental conservation. The protection of the planet is very important, not only because animals and plants need a place to survive, but also because human beings' health and future depend on it. The issue speaks to me because I believe every person has a part to play in keeping our planet healthy and sustainable for future generations. One of the reasons I care about environmental conservation is because of the impact of pollution and climate change. With the rise in temperature, extreme weather, and the degrading biodiversity, one can already see the serious effects this causes to environmental neglect. This concerns me because it threatens the fragile balance which sustains life on Earth. Clean air, water, and a richly fertile soil-like element are those things each person and animal depends on. In the process, we are not only causing damage to other species, but also to the health and safety of our own. The realization of this then impelled me to do little changes in my life, such as waste reduction, recycling, and energy conservation, to continue doing my part for the health of Earth. At the same time, the conservation of nature means protecting natural habitats. Therein dwell innumerable species, performing the most important functions in the maintenance of ecosystems. I strongly believe that humans have to be considerate of the impact we have on these environments. Every animal or plant has to live in a specific habitat. And if the species do not get this habitat, it can hardly survive. Thus, it reduces biodiversity, and biodiversity is exceedingly important for a healthy and balanced ecosystem. Replanting trees, reducing the consumption of plastic items, and preserving wild areas can make all the difference. That is why conservation of the environment means much to me, as it will affect each and every living thing on Earth. I feel this can be done through small conscious choices to protect our planet, therefore securing the future. It is my wish that people be more informed about the essence of conservation, whereby it would enable many to join hands towards the protection of our planet for the future generation to come.